Okay, picture this. What if I told you there's an industry where one single demographic makes up a massive 85% of all consumer purchases?
85%. Wow.
Yeah, including 65% of new cars. And we're not talking fashion here or cosmetics. We're talking about the automotive world. And that demographic, women.
That really sets the stage, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. So today we're taking a deep dive into the evolving and I think transformative role of women in the auto industry. We've got some great insights pulled from sources like Women Love Tech, Fleet Point, SYF Stock News, and Fender Bender.
A really good mix there.
Definitely. And our mission for you listening is to sort of explore the current landscape, where things stand with female representation. We'll also celebrate some amazing trailblazers really redefining the industry.
And understand that huge market power women have as consumers.
Exactly. And finally, highlight the key initiatives supporting their growth and empowerment right across the board.
It's such a critical topic, and what immediately jumps out when you look at the data is, well, the imbalance. There's a huge imbalance within the sector itself,
Right.
especially when you think about how powerful women already are as customers. I mean, look at maintenance and repair. Just 13.4% of workers are female.
13.4, that's low.
It is. And in senior leadership in auto retail, same story, basically, just 13%. And what's really concerning, if you look at the bigger trend, the overall proportion of women in the auto sector actually went down. It dropped from 19.6% in 2020-21 to 17.5% in 2022-23.
Went down. But women make up, what, over half the workforce?
Exactly. 53% of the general working age population. So it's a really stark contrast.
Yeah, that's a profound disconnect.
Yeah.
It's not just numbers on a page, is it? This underrepresentation must spill over into the customer experience.
Oh, absolutely. It creates real friction. Our sources show that 62% of women feel uncomfortable just visiting a garage alone.
62%. Wow.
And almost a third, 27%, believe technicians treat them differently than men. Amanda Webb, who's the interim CEO of Fix My Car, she really highlighted this, said it's a very real personal thing for so many women.
I believe it. And that points to something deeper, right? Like a perception problem.
It absolutely does. There's research from the Institute of the Motor Industry. It found young people see the sector as, well, very male-dominated and disturbingly, potentially even misogynistic.
Oof. That's tough to hear.
And that image problem, it directly impacts recruitment. It helps explain why only 4% of apprentices are female.
Only 4%.
And get this, a 2022 Tech Force Foundation report found that 100%, literally every single one of female technicians who went to tech school experienced bias.
100%. That's shocking. These aren't isolated things then.
No, not at all. They're systemic issues, real barriers.
So, okay, if I'm getting this right, the issue isn't just a numbers gap. It's a culture that might actually be pushing women away.
I think that's fair to say, based on this data.
And the consequences are huge, right? The industry isn't just missing out on talent, creativity, half the population, but it's also shooting itself in the foot with recruitment.
Definitely.
That Motor Ombudsman report you mentioned, 48% of garages saying recruitment is a top issue for 2025.
Yeah, almost half.
It's clearly a two-way street here. Action is needed. And not just for fairness, right? It sounds essential for the industry's own health.
Couldn't agree more. Survival and success depend on it.
Okay, so the challenges are clear, pretty stark actually. But here's where it gets really interesting, I think. Women aren't just, pointing out the problems. They're actively leading the charge to change things.
Exactly. That's the exciting part. We're seeing really powerful examples of women leaders, women-led companies making a real tangible difference across the board.
Like where? Give us some examples.
Okay, let's start with hands-on service. Empowerment. In Australia, Queensland, there's Fume Garage. It's women-owned, women-operated, led by Mariah Teal and her all-women team.
An all-women team, nice.
Yeah. And they're known for great service, sure, but also for educating and empowering female customers specifically, the ones who often get mistreated elsewhere.
That's fantastic.
Then in the U.S., Pennsylvania, there's Girls Auto Clinic, founded by Patrice Banks. She actually coined the term chicanic.
Chicanic. I love that.
Isn't it great? They service cars for everyone, but famously, you get a free manicure at their Clutch Beauty Bar while you wait.
Okay, that's brilliant marketing too.
Totally. And Patrice also runs car care workshops, teaching women basic maintenance, checking fluids, tires, understanding common problems and costs.
Really practical empowerment.
Exactly. And over in the UK, you've got Hoyles. It's a women-led MOT testing place and service center run by Louisa Hollows. Really challenging stereotypes there. They're also EV specialists, commercial vehicle sellers, just providing solid advice, no fear involved.
These are amazing stories, really changing the vibe at the garage level. But does this carry over into the really high-tech side? Manufacturing, innovation, those areas often seem even more male-dominated.
Oh, it absolutely does, and the impact is just as profound, maybe even more so in some ways. Take Maria Anholt. She's the CEO of Electrobit in Germany.
Electrobit,
Yeah.
the connected software realm.
Huge. Reach.
Right.
Huge. Powers over 600 million vehicles. And under her leadership, they're really prioritizing environment, safety, and health, focusing on conservation, preventing pollution, boosting recycling.
So leadership with a conscience baked into the tech.
Precisely. Then look at BMW, Dr. Stella Clark. She led the project for their e-ink technology.
Ah, the color-changing car, yes.
That's the one. The iX Flow, the iVision D concepts.
Yeah.
Using that electrophoretic film to just change the car's look on demand. Talk about personalization.
That's some sci-fi stuff right there. Amazing.
Sure. And think about Zoox over in California. CEO Aisha Evans leads this tech company making robo-taxis.
Autonomous vehicles.
Right. Yeah, and their focus is really interesting. Customer comfort, controlling music, temperature, charging, but always safety first.
Yeah.
Using camera for pedestrians, articulating radar for other cars. Very sophisticated.
So leading the way in autonomy, too.
Definitely. And another great example is Yanni von Roijang. She's the COO of Webasto in Germany. They do roofing, batteries, thermosystems, global stuff.
Okay.
She's originally from China, and she talks about how her cultural hybrid perspective really helps her lead projects. She sees it as key to helping the company adapt and survive in this super fast-changing market.
That's a fantastic point about diverse perspectives driving success. It's not just about the tech, then. It's also about women breaking through in corporate leadership at the very top.
Absolutely. And a great recent example of that is Hyundai. Reuters recognized 3 of their female execs as 2025 trailblazing women in automotive.
3 from one company.
In 1 year.
Yep, first time ever. Claudia Marcrex, the COO for Hyundai Motor America, Kate Fabian, Director of Marketing Communications, and Olabisi Boyle, SVP at Hyundai Motor North America.
That's a huge statement from Hyundai and for the industry.
It really is. Shows significant strides in that corporate leadership space. You know, listening to these examples, these women aren't just like cracking a glass ceiling. It feels like they're fundamentally rebuilding the structure, showing how grace and expertise can level the field. It's really inspiring.
It truly is. Sets a whole new standard.
Okay, so building on these incredible individual efforts and how women are changing things from the inside, let's switch gears slightly. Let's unpack another huge factor: their power as consumers.
Ah, yes, the power of the purse. And here the numbers are just, well, they're kind of mind-blowing.
Wait, I'm on this.
Okay, get ready. Women account for an astounding 85% of all consumer purchases.
All purchases, not just automotive.
All consumer purchases. Spending something like $5 trillion a year. That's more than half the entire U.S. GDP.
Wow. Okay, that's huge.
And within the auto world specifically, they buy 65% of new cars.
65%, so the majority.
The clear majority. But here's the kicker. Despite that huge buying power, 74% of women feel misunderstood by automotive marketers.
3/4 of them feel misunderstood. That's a massive disconnect. Costly, too, I imagine.
Hugely costly. It's just the industry is just missing the mark with a huge chunk of its primary customer base.
So it's not just about selling, it's how you sell and who you think you're talking to. Seems like there's some old stereotypes at play.
Exactly. And the data really challenges those stereotypes. Contrary to maybe some traditional thinking, women prioritize safety, fuel economy, and convenience when they personalize vehicles.
Oh, practical stuff.
Very practical. We're talking about things like CD players or changers, yes, still a thing for some, window tinting for glare and UV protection, good floor mats, alarm systems, well-designed center consoles for keeping things organized, fog lamps for visibility. It's function first.
That really flips the script on some old assumptions, doesn't it? It's not just different preferences, it's like a whole different set of priorities that maybe marketers have overlooked.
Precisely. A massive blind spot. And it's not just about buying either. Women are increasingly getting hands-on.
Oh yeah, like DIY.
Absolutely. A survey found 21% of female do-it-yourselfers do all their own vehicle work.
All of it. Wow.
Yeah. And 78% rate themselves as experienced or expert. Lisa Chissis, who's president of Flexelite and chairs a SEMA council, she put it perfectly. She said, basically, If I spend hours installing a performance part, every time I hit the gas and feel that power, I know I did that. I made it happen.
That's fantastic, that sense of accomplishment, of capability.
Yeah, it's really powerful.
And does this DIY trend and purchasing power extend into areas like, say, trucks? That seems like a traditionally very male segment.
It does, significantly. Women buy over 21% of compact trucks, over 14% of heavy-duty full-size, and 18% of light-duty full-size trucks.
I mean, those aren't small percentages.
Not at all. And retailers are noticing. Places like Chuck's Trucks, they've actually had to create specific sales training for catering to women truck owners.
How so? What do they focus on?
Safety and function. Like explaining exactly how a side step bar mounts securely to the frame for safe entry, focusing on the engineering and benefit, not just how it looks.
Smart. Adapting the sales pitch to the actual customer priority.
Success.
So, the bottom line here, understanding and genuinely catering to women consumers isn't just, a nice to have. It sounds absolutely essential for growth, for innovation, for staying relevant in the whole aftermarket.
It's non-negotiable, really. Huge potential there.
Okay, so we've got these amazing trailblazers, we've got this immense consumer power, but individual efforts can only go so far, right? What about systemic support, community building, things that make the change stick?
That's the crucial next piece, absolutely. And we are seeing real efforts take root there. Financial and educational empowerment is a big one.
Like what?
Well, Synchrony, for example, donated $25,000 to women in auto care back in April 2025. It's part of their Education as an Equalizer initiative.
Okay, women in auto care. They're part of the Auto Care Association.
That's right. And that money goes towards scholarships for professional development, funds for essential tools, educational programs. Women in Auto Care has been around 20 years now. They offer conferences, awards, virtual sessions called Empower Half Hours, networking groups called Connection Circles. It's a whole ecosystem.
That sounds incredibly valuable, like building real infrastructure for support.
Foundational stuff.
And is this happening at a bigger industry level too, beyond just individual companies or groups?
Yes, definitely. Look at the Automotive Council UK. Their members make up like 99% of British vehicle manufacturing. They launched a diversity and inclusion charter.
Okay, what's the commitment?
They've publicly pledged to get female representation in their workforce up to at least 30% by 2030.
30% by 2030. That's a solid, measurable target. Shows real industry-wide intent.
It does. And at the same time, you see companies evolving internally, like Fix My Car, the one Amanda Webb leads. They're already at 37% female employees.
37%, that's impressive.
Yeah, and they're actively working on things like flexible employment options, supportive parental leave, good coaching and mentoring programs. It's that whole package.
Taking a holistic approach, that makes sense. It changes the culture from the inside. And it also comes down to individuals creating welcoming spaces too, right?
Precisely. That all-female garage in London, Spanners with Manners, is such a great example. Just creating a space where women feel comfortable. And you hear leaders like Bernice Sanders from the SEMA Business Women's Network just saying, go for it, learn everything you can, pushing women to break through.
Yeah.
And Luann Brown, who is chair of SBN, she talked about how online communities are really powerful now. They help demystify the aftermarket, make it less intimidating, more engaging for women, which helps everyone, really. Boost the whole industry, lets people just, hang out online and learn.
Creating connection and sharing knowledge, even remotely. That's key.
Absolutely.
So it feels like the door is definitely opening wider. But like Amanda Webb said, women also need to be brave enough to walk through it when the opportunity presents itself.
It's a partnership in a way. Opportunity meets readiness.
Yeah. It's clearly a journey, but wow, there's some real momentum and a growing community behind it.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, it's just crystal clear, isn't it? Women aren't just like participants anymore in the auto industry. They're innovators, they're leaders, they're incredibly powerful consumers. They're really the driving force behind a more inclusive, more dynamic future for cars, tech, service, everything.
The whole landscape is shifting. The old stereotypes are definitely crumbling.
They really are. A whole new road is being paved, and it feels much more equitable.
And, if we zoom out, think about the bigger picture here. This growing empowerment of women in automotive from the shop floor right up to the C-suite. Could this be a blueprint?
A blueprint for other industries?
Yeah, for other historically male-dominated fields. What lessons can be learned here about changing culture, creating opportunity? What could that unlock elsewhere? Think about the potential impact on innovation, economic growth. What could truly representative workforces mean for the global economy?
That's a really fascinating thought to leave our listeners with. What broader revolution might this be just the start of? Lots to think about there.